Migrants granted asylum in the UK will no longer be automatically given settlement and family reunion rights, under landmark policy changes outlined by the Prime Minister on Thursday, the 2nd of October. In her forthcoming asylum policy reform, the Home Secretary will introduce a fundamental change to the rights provided to those granted asylum in the UK, looking to end automatic family reunion rights and altering the requirements for long-term settlement in the UK. The Prime Minister is announcing the reforms ahead of his attendance at the European Political Community Summit in Copenhagen, where he will co-chair a roundtable with leaders on innovative approaches to tackling illegal migration. The fundamental reforms will be the basis of a fairer system, whereas the Home Secretary indicated in her speech to conference the route to settlement should be longer and be earned via contribution to the country. They are also aimed at addressing the pull factors driving high levels of illegal migration to the UK. The latest step in unpicking the business model of criminal people smugglers and securing our border under the Plan for Change, it builds on progress in recent weeks to show those who come here illegally that the UK is not a soft touch. This follows the first small boat migrant returns to France under the UK-France Treaty and the government unveiling plans to crack down on illegal working through digital ID. The changes will bring an end to the unfair system that sees those crossing the channel in a small boat having greater rights to settlement and family reunion than those who arrive through proper legal routes, and even British citizens. In line with our values as a tolerant and fair-minded country, genuine refugees will not be returned to their home country and will be entitled to a package of core protection should they receive a positive decision, but they will face a new, longer route to settlement requiring them to contribute, replacing the current 5 years. And they will not have the automatic right to family reunion. Full detail of the reforms will be set out in an asylum policy statement set to be unveiled later in the autumn. The Asylum Core Protection announcement builds on plans set out by the Home Secretary earlier this week for a series of further conditions that migrants will have to meet before gaining indefinite leave to remain in this country. This includes being in work, making a certain level of national insurance contributions, not taking any benefits payments, learning English to a high standard, having a spotless criminal record, and giving back by, for example, working in your local community. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said, "I believe that if you want to come to the UK, you should contribute to our society. That is the tolerant and fair approach to migration that our communities are built on, but the current system is not fit for purpose. That is why we're making fundamental changes to what those granted asylum are afforded in the UK. Settlement must be earned by contributing to our country, not by paying a people smuggler to cross the channel in a boat." The UK will continue to play its role in welcoming genuine refugees fleeing persecution. But we must also address the pull factors driving dangerous and illegal small boats crossings. There will be no golden ticket to settling in the UK, people will have to earn it. The Prime Minister is set to discuss the changes, as well as other ways European countries can work together to tackle the shared challenge of illegal migration, at the EPC summit. In a meeting with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, the leaders are set to announce a new partnership backed by up to £3 million to tackle the causes of migration upstream in Western Balkan countries, including by encouraging people to stay in the region and take up jobs there. Having boosted international cooperation with key partners, the PM will also take the opportunity to reflect on progress made to date to disrupt and deter people smuggling upstream, and discuss how to go further, including through reform of implementation of the ECHR. This will include the fact the UK is contributing up to £5.75 million under Italy's Rome process to tackle migration upstream in key African source and transit companies, reducing movements of migrants towards Europe and supporting the voluntary return of people to countries of origin. The UK and Germany will deepen collaboration between their respective justice systems to combat migrant smuggling by strengthening law enforcement efforts to bring migrant smuggler networks to justice. This will include a focus on efforts to seize and disrupt the supply of dangerous small boats equipment and prosecute smugglers, taking full advantage of Germany's law change to criminalise facilitation of irregular migration to the UK, expected before the end of the year. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button to get timely notification of upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.